Hello, this is James Camp, and I'm giving a quick demo of the software I built for my teaching starting in 2020, starting in spring 2020, with the uh, world going online for COVID. I needed uh, a way to do interactive teaching with my classes. So I'm going to show you. You can sign in with Google or sign in with Microsoft. I've choose my jcamp at lee.edu account here, and then you can see I've got all these classes where I'm teaching, and then I've got a few that I'm enrolled in just for demo purposes. So I'm going to show you the Intro to Engineering class, which is really a programming class. I'm going to show you that some of these are available because they have no prerequisites for them. Others depend on content in other lessons, so they're not available yet. So as a student, I will click on this little expansion widget, and I can click Start on the day's lesson. It pulls up a video. I'm not going to take the time to watch the video right now, but I could. And then after that, it gives me a quiz. So computers can do many jobs because they can be programmed. Okay. A program is a set of it remembers that I've typed stuff in these blanks before. Instructions that tells the computer how to perform a task. Keywords in a programming language have a special reserved meaning. Identifiers in a programming language have a user-defined meaning. Okay, the language rules for how keywords, identifiers, operations, and punctuation must be used are called syntax. A variable is a named memory location. Predict the output of the following pseudocode. X equals 5, y equals 7. Add 2 to x, so x is now 7. Subtract 3 from y, y is now 4. Z is x plus half of y, so 7 plus half of 4 is 9. So we're going to, I click grade the quiz, and no surprise, since I wrote the quiz, I know all the answers. Okay. I can now skip to the next thing. I have previous attempt scores on this activity because I have, in fact, done this before. But this is a categorization activity that the heart of the Activ system is a lot of active learning activities. Yes, there's a multiple choice quiz, but there are also these activities where you drag and drop things. So an input-output device, I'm going to call that system software. That is not the place. This is a physical component of the computer system. So, okay, let me go to hardware. There we go. Yay. Fun fact, Steve Jobs stole the idea of a mouse from Xerox Research Labs. Okay. Labels to place computer game. That's application software. Secondary storage. Storage sounds like hardware. Main memory. That sounds like hardware. Web browser. Is that system software? No, it's software you use to do everyday things, so it's application software. Xcode. No, that lets you write other software, so that's system software. Custom programs, applications. Central processing, hardware. Visual Studio, Mac OS, MS Windows. Word processor goes over here in application software. And when it sees that I've completed the whole thing, it gives me this nice little sunburst graphic there, and says, "You did it." Okay. Now I save and go to the next. This is steps for writing a program. This is another one of my active learning activities, is you get to put things in the proper order. So you actually, unlike a lot of other things, you don't have to have things in the right order to start with. You don't lose full credit if you get one thing out of place. So, see, I know translate your model into computer code is going to be the last step. So I'm going to drop that. No, it's not quite the last step. Okay. clearly define what the program is supposed to do. That's going to come before writing my computer code. Yeah, okay, that's actually the first step. Use design tools. That's going to be in here somewhere. Trace all possible paths through your model looking for logic errors. I'm going to guess that comes in between. Yeah. Validate your program. Make sure it solves the problem. That goes at the end. Document your program. That should come during the coding step. No. Does it come after validating your program? It does. Okay. I kind of disagree with that, but that's what the book said, so I'm going with it. Submit your work to your teacher, boss, etc. That comes at the very end. Try to compile your code comes after writing your code. Visualize the program. That comes up here. Run the program with a variety of test data. Goes there. And once again, I get my little sunburst graphic at the top. And, I lost 1 point for having put one in the wrong order, but I generally get a pretty good score, even if I didn't know everything to start with. So it's a good learning activity in addition to just being it's a good learning activity rather than being something that just tests my knowledge. Okay, the save and next button is broken. Oh, okay, it is. Now, if I click on this, I see that I got scores of 0.54, 4.78, 8.59, 7.22. I got decent attempt scores, but I lost some points for being after the due date here. Okay, so it takes off 10% per day for late work. So it's the 17th. That was, it was due on the 11th. So I lost almost half credit for some of these things that I did. Intro to C++. I'm not going to go through all of these. I've got a video, another video, a quiz. I want to show you my labeling activity here. So this loads, you have to click to begin, and then this shows you some key words and phrases, and you have to, okay, so data type, it stores a true, false. I'm looking for Boolean. There we go. Includes another file into your code. I'm looking for pound include. End a function name, such as main. That's going to be parentheses. Starts and ends a multi-line comment. That's my /star. Data type that stores high precision floating point numbers. Double. Ends most C++ statements. That's going to be a semicolon. Class that allows easy use of text strings. That's easy. That's string. Stream object that prints messages on the console. Cout. Starts a single line comment. That's my // Escape sequence that inserts a tab character. I'm going to pretend I don't know the answer here and see what happens. It says that is not the place for escape sequence. Look at table 2.2 in the Gaddis textbook. So if I look at that table, I'll find that it's /t, and I'll run down there. Now I lost 0.1 point for having gotten that wrong. Data type that stores a whole number. Character. Nope, read section 2.6. So run to int. That's correct. Escape sequence that inserts a line break. Starts and ends a code block. So that's curly braces. Data type that stores one individual character. That's a car. Starts and ends a string literal. Quotes. Enclose a library name with it's a pound include. Okay. You did it. Okay. Another use for the drag and drop is I can have the user actually write a program, okay, by dropping things into these blocks. Now, I know that pound include have to come first, And even though I dropped it on the wrong spot for where the program expected it, it knew to put it there. It gave me credit for it. Um, my using namespace standard has to come up here. This is the place where I declare int main. Now let's see, string first name. Does that go here? It does. Okay. I have to ask what is your name, and then input first name, and then output hello first name. And I got that one all right. And that lets you practice doing some of your actual programming. And then this takes me back to my class, and I see I got better scores because I'm not as late, okay, with this one. Note it's still not letting me hop on to CPP2 because I haven't completed these, the quiz and everything. I don't have a full 70% on all of these yet. So if I go, so I'm going to go home, and now I'm going to show you what the same class looks like from the teacher's point of view. You see I have a list of students up here. I can click on any one of these if I want to know how Alex Gwynn did on this. He obviously hasn't done much of the work. Let's say I want to know about Arandi Ramirez. She started the class and then did a lot of no attempts. Let me see if I can find somebody who did real well with this. Samuel Rojas. Yeah, okay, so he did really well with most of these. You can see got good scores. If you do the work early, you get extra points for not per day early, but you get 10% extra if you do the work more than a day early. And if I need to go back to Samuel here for a second, if I want to see if I see that he did this activity twice and got 5.5 both times out of 6, I can go examine, and I can see the two scores. I can change a raw score, I can delete an attempt, or I can just return to the student page, and then I can go back to class view. Down here I can play. I can hit these play buttons and see any of these activities. I can hit the edit button and get a page where I can edit the quiz. So if I find that there's a wrong answer or something, if one of my students gives me that feedback that that this was a wrong answer, I can come back in here and edit things. I can also change the order of the activities within a lesson, and then I can hit edit on the lesson itself, change the name, the subject, the due date, the allow date, allow after, no lesson. So if I think that getting loopy needs to know, you need to know how to make decisions, which really should be, then I can make that change right there, and now this requires lesson CP33. Okay? So, one other thing, I can go to a student And in addition to looking at how they've done on a particular activity, I can hit the accommodate button here and I can change the number of attempts they're allowed. I can extend their due date by a certain number of days, or I can also, if they just wasted all their attempts on the first lesson and didn't make it to the second lesson, I can click force allow and force them to be allowed to do that lesson. Okay, so that's a kind of whirlwind overview of this software. It's also very handy for my anatomy and physiology classes. You can come here and for anatomical directions, you can say, okay, distal is this one, lateral looks like that one. Nope, that's not the place for lateral. How about that one? Yeah, there we go. Superior sounds like up. Proximal is the opposite of distal. Medial is the opposite of lateral. Anterior is forward. Posterior is backward. Oh, I missed the target. And inferior goes down there. And then if I want to do, then I can do things where, okay, I can look at abdominal and umbilical and inguinal. And you can see I've got lots more to get through, but it puts a little dot at approximately the center of the place where you're looking for, and then gives you the label. Okay, so that's my quick tour of Activ. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you were as impressed with this as as I am with the amount of work that it took to put together.